Hey, it is Taylor Richards here, back with another review of Put a Ring on It. This video will be covering two episodes, episode 6 and episode 8. There was no episode 7. I Googled it, I searched there. I don't know what happened. There just wasn't an episode 7. So this is episode 6 and 8. Please pardon my absence. I promise there was good reason why I had been MIA, but I'm back. I'm better. I'm feeling good. This episode, Put a Ring on It, season 4, episode 6, Double the Trouble. We're back in deliberation with all the couples and Dr. Stacy, and we left off with Catherine and Ricky. Ricky feels as though he doesn't have the chance to miss Catherine because they're always together. And Catherine doesn't like that narrative because, according to her, she doesn't stop Ricky from doing anything he wants to do. Dr. Stacy suggests they make a schedule for the family that incorporates Catherine going out and having her own time to do what she needs to do, as well as time for Ricky. And also, I'll add that both people need jobs. I think that will help too. They both need jobs, both of them. Catherine is going on a second date with Marcus, the last guy, and I think that's great. I liked him. Ricky is going on his third date with Sheila. Wait, let me make sure. Yeah. He's the first one to make it to 3 dates with someone. If they get to a 4th date, then something is up here. This reminds you of Crime Mob dude with, remember how him and Shay, or whatever her name was from the season, they ended up being in a full relationship, or whatever you call it. The couples will be going on dates in front of their significant others, who will also be on the date. So we start with Catherine and Ricky. Catherine is about to go on her bowling date with Marcus. I love Marcus's confidence. I love his personality. I love how he compliments Catherine. He's very affectionate with her, and he shows interest in her. And I think she needs to stop playing. How do you go out with Marcus and still want to stay with Ricky and his Brady bunch? For Catherine to be a hairstylist, I am disappointed in her wigs constantly looking crusty and bulky. She's better off wearing her natural hair. Why wear wigs or weaves that look worse than your natural hair? I don't get it. Weaves and wigs should be an enhancement. Same with makeup. Why wear makeup that makes you look uglier than what you do when you are natural? Should be an enhancement. Ricky and Sheila are going on their third date, bowling at the same spot as Catherine and Marcus. Sheila looked a hot mess from neck to toe. Because her beautiful locks, they could never miss. But from neck to toe, she looked an absolute mess. Absolutely. Now Ricky can actually see Catherine and Marcus vibing with his own eyes, and that makes him upset, but it's not you're not upset. Not the man who didn't want any boundaries set in place to begin with. Not Mr. Eat Off Sheila's fork, which is basically kissing, if you ask me. Like, dude, you're on your third date with this woman. Cut it out and knock it off. I bet Catherine started looking better now that he saw another man show interest in her. But no, Ricky, focus on Sheila. Where'd all this sensual energy go between Ricky and Sheila? Like, they had it so full the first and second dates. Ricky assumes that because they have a bond built, he assumes that because he and Catherine have a bond built on 10 years of friendship, that's enough to keep her, and that's sad. That's why he keeps doing the bare minimum. That's why he keeps her as a girlfriend in his back pocket. He assumes she's not going anywhere, and she most likely not. But let's not pretend that a guy with a job, a car, his own place, and who actually shows her affection can't pose a possible threat to you and whatever y'all have. And I'm talking about a guy such as Marcus, who has the bare minimum starter pack to being a grown man, by the way. Not even Marcus is doing anything exceptional with himself. He's doing what a grown adult should. But Ricky is just so subpar. Like, get real. Ricky is dusty. But so is Catherine. Catherine is dusty as well. At least for the time being. And only time will tell if Catherine is actually going to go for what she truly deserves in a partner. I love seeing Catherine embrace Marcus's affection. She had a smile on her face the entire time, and not Marcus licking something off Catherine's shirt. Ew. I would have had a problem with it had Ricky not arrogantly called off the boundaries on dates. But let's be clear, Marcus is a tad full of crap. But I do think he's the perfect date for Catherine, just to get her out of her comfort zone and just kind of show her what she could be missing from men. Marcus himself, I don't think is Catherine's match, but I think a guy like Marcus, I think is a good introduction for her. Zay and Jasmine. Jasmine tells Zay she feels a way about how attentive and how much of a great listener he was to his date because he doesn't do that for her. She says the lady must have activated Zay says the lady must have activated his listening skills. Meanwhile, neither Zay or the lady he went on a date with were interested in each other at all. And Zay can tell Jasmine is Zay can tell Jasmine how much he wasn't feeling the woman so that Jasmine doesn't have to feel this type of way. Like, this has to be frustrating. I'm sure we all would like to not feel, a certain way about things, but here we are. I see nothing appealing about Zay. But this is Jasmine's king, so okay. They are the perfect replacements, I will admit, for Dunbar and Chance because they are equally as delusional and ridiculous about their ages, one, and their relationships. Zay even dresses up for his date in a way that Jasmine has never even seen him do. So I'm wondering, what sort of standards does Jasmine has? Has Zay ever taken Jasmine out on a date? What has Zay done for Jasmine that, then if everything he's done on the show is the first time she's seen him do it? So what has he done? Zay's date is Naya, who's beautiful. She's well put together. I don't think she'll like Zay because he's dusty. Yes, he may have the money and all the bling bling, but he's very clearly a dusty dude. He's clearly a project that needs some improvement and work put into it. And any woman can see that Jasmine is the only contractor willing to fix him up. Zay immediately compliments Naya, calling her pretty. But honestly, Jasmine got all upset about that. I feel like, Jasmine, you have bigger fish to fry with Zay than Zay calling his date pretty. There are much worse things that have come out of his mouth that needs addressing. Jasmine's date is Sean. He's handsome and he's gentleman-like, but I doubted that Jasmine would take him seriously. They gave friend vibes, right? There was just nothing romantic that occurred. She's too far up Zay's behind. But her outfit was really cute. I really love Jasmine's shoes. As soon as Jasmine walks into the same restaurant that Zay and his date are also on, Zay and Naya, Zay can't focus on his pretty date. He has no intelligent conversation. He has no naturally flowing conversation, nothing interesting to say or ask. Jasmine, come get your man. Zay would be a fool to leave Jasmine. He's decent looking. He seems like a genuinely nice guy, cool and laid back. He's just so basic. He's basic. And he's too basic for a first date with a beautiful woman who has her stuff together. Zay did earn some major points, though, for being a stand-up dude with Naya when she expressed her attraction, and that showed me a lot about her. I think she was attracted to what Zay has, thinking she could get a piece of it. The formula is pretty simple in Atlanta. Any medium ugly dude with money has a baddie on his arm. It's easier for the women to focus on the dude on this sort of dude, the medium ugly, then compete for the super handsome dudes with money. The medium ugly dudes will just be happy to have someone as pretty as you by his side. It's just how it goes. That's how it works. And Naya is in the right equation for that. Naya calls Jasmine she, saying, I noticed she was back there. And I appreciate Zay for recognizing the shade, calling it out, and not moving forward until Naya corrected herself. Because I think that was a bit much, Naya. But Naya was so confident that, when she first got introduced to the show, her date's woman would feel insecure about her being around. But here we are, Jasmine not even concerned with what y'all having going on in the first place. And here we are, you telling this taken man how attracted to him you are and how you'd like him to pay you more attention while he's checked out worrying about what his actual girlfriend, Jasmine, is doing. and you not calling Jasmine by her name didn't help you at all. And now it's just awkward between Zay and Nia. Sean confides to Jasmine that he lost his mom back in 2018 due to hypertension. I believe he lost his dad during the pandemic. Jasmine also lost her dad recently, so they bonded over that. I think Sean gave Jasmine some really great words of advice and encouragement. Overall, I liked their dates a lot. I'm just not sure there was a romantic vibe. Joya and Jasha. Jasha is going on a second date with Brittany. Again, I see no chemistry between the two, none whatsoever. Quite frankly, Joya has nothing to worry about when it comes to Brittany. Brittany tries a bit too hard for my taste. You know, can you stretch without begging for attention? Like, it's just thirsty behavior. I enjoy Joya's energy more so. You know, she's calm, she's ladylike, and she's just naturally sexy. Brittany can have all the big butts she wants, but Joya's demeanor is the kind that really could get any man she wanted. So Brittany should take notes. Joya's date, Jacoby, makes a comment to Jasha about how he feels him since he got to see how flexible Joya is. And now there's this back and forth. And not Jasha being upset when he just had Brittany dropping it low and getting her eagle on just a few minutes ago. I did find the comment from Jacoby to be quite unnecessary and childish. Like, grow up. Jasha isn't letting Joya go. She's a class act. She's a great woman. Brittany, back up. You're doing too much. You're touching all on him. Like, back up. Jasha hasn't even given Brittany the energy back. Brittany needs to read the room. It's too much. Even if Jasha weren't in a whole relationship, I still think Brittany was coming on way too strong. I do. Jacoby says he can't take a woman with kids seriously. I think his perspective was honest and realistic. He pointed out how the kid always has to come first before whoever mommy is dating, and that's a fact. He also pointed out how it can get complicating disciplining a teenager who's his stepchild because the child may pull the "you're not my dad" card. And that's also a fact, a possible fact. Not that it means a woman with kids is not worthy of still being pursued and committed to despite having a child, because she is still worthy. I'm just glad that Jacoby gave his honest account of how he feels about dating women with kids, because now Joya knows ahead of time before further investing herself into this. I wish Mark Anthony and Andre from Ready to Love said it this plainly to Jeffree. It was a little harsh, but I wish he said it. I wish they did. I'm with Jacoby. You know, I don't have children. You know, I've dated men with children. I'm not doing it again. You know, it's not worth it for me in particular at this place at 28. So I do get it. I can see why Joya, though, is a bit turned off by Jacoby's comments about not wanting to date women with children, because if that's the case, why are you here knowing she has a child? But that's because Jacoby is a child. He's worded it very harshly and immaturely. Why say all this mess about how you can't settle and how you need an upper echelon chick and this and that to Joya? Why would you tell her y'all can just have a little fun? Why are you speaking to her this way? Like she's some trashy fun time chick. As if this woman's man isn't literally across the room from y'all. If anyone would be settling, Jacoby, it'd be Joya settling for your childish behind. At least Jasha is a man. And that's why he wasn't feeling your little whack childish comment about his woman, little boy. Jacoby just showed himself to be really obnoxious by the end of the day. I do ultimately think that Jasha will propose by the end of the season. All of the couples are with Dr. Stacey for the recap. Catherine is receiving all of this treatment from Marcus that she's been asking for from Ricky. And Ricky's trying to play it cool, but he was very clearly bothered while watching Catherine and Marcus bowling for himself. So he's lying to Dr. Stacey's face. He says he didn't feel anything when we saw him unable to focus on Sheila. So, all right, Ricky, you know, we see how you're playing, you know, but that marks the end of my review for this episode. I'm just going to note the timestamp, and then we move into Put a Ring on It, season 4, episode 8. Family Ties. Remember, there was no episode 7. I checked, I searched, there just wasn't one. So it went from episode 6 to now episode 8. Back with all the couples recapping their dates with Dr. Stacey. Ricky is pretending he doesn't care what Catherine was doing on her date, as if he wasn't stuck and confused the whole bowling date. Catherine wants to go on a third date with Marcus, and I'm very glad about that. Ricky is not going to go on a fourth date with Sheila. He says he only sees them as friends, and I'm not surprised. Jasha says Brittany was doing the most. like we all saw her doing. You know, it's bad for a dude to point that out because dudes never catch the thirsty behavior of women. They usually love it, you know. So, of course, Jaysha doesn't want to go on another date with Brittany. Joya clocks Jacoby's lack of maturity and, of course, will not go on another date with him. Good. Joya and Jaysha are going to get engaged, you know, by the end of the season. I think they have a strong union. They seem to know each other well. And specifically, I think they know what the other person likes, wants, and needs. And a lot of people don't know these things about their partners. Zay and Jasmine talk about their dates. Jasmine says that Zay makes her feel like he wishes he could be where he's at today, except single, instead of being in a relationship. And Zay says he hates that Jasmine feels that way and that he has work to do. Zay seems to have decent intentions. He just lacks execution. And I'm hoping he actually shows behaviors that bring Jasmine more security in the relationship. I'll back off Zay for now, just to give him a little space to grow and show that he could be a stand-up guy for Jasmine. But my eyes are on you. Jasmine's date, Sean, was a little too soft for her. She likes her dudes to have a little bit of street in them. And then part of me feels as though this is exactly why Jasmine is in the predicament she's in with the man she's in it with. And also that Jasmine is too old to still require her men to have stripes in the streets to be with her. On the other hand, she likes what she likes, right? And it's for her to take whatever her preferences come with. So it sounds like she just wants a certain lifestyle. Zay is not going to go on another date with Naya, obviously. What has Jasmine done to her face? It's in the lips. I think it's in the lips. This week's assignment is to meet with the closest family members to discuss how the family dynamic affects the relationship. I think we only saw like 2 people's families, so it really wasn't like some big climactic challenge for the episode. Joya and Jaysha. Joya is still going on about Jaysha's physical touch with Brittany, and I see it 2 ways. On one hand, Jaysha knows doggone well he wouldn't appreciate seeing another man touching all on Joya's thighs while she's squatting with her legs wide open. So her level of upset is quite normal. On the other hand, y'all already discussed this, Joya. Jaysha clearly wasn't on that type of time with Brittany. He clocked how extra Brittany was being, and he also apologized for his actions. The best thing to do is just move forward and see how it plays out now that y'all have communicated y'all strong dislikes. Plus, Joya, you have to remember that y'all are on a unique journey. Joya goes on a first date with Luther. What is up with Joya bringing up sex on the first dates with this man? I don't know. Joya invites her sister Taffy over for insight. I see a slight resemblance in them. Nothing interesting happened from that. Ricky and Catherine. Catherine is meeting with her dad and grandmother. She says her dad was in the military, so she didn't meet her dad until she was 14. She was raised by her grandmother. She says her mom never got accustomed to motherhood due to her having Catherine at a young age. And I know exactly what Catherine felt and was explaining. Like, I lived that reality myself. And I think you always carry that inner child with you that's always longing for that parent. And I think that's why she clings to Ricky. Ricky is on the same level that she's at, so she clings to him. But if she had a partner who knew how to uplift her and help her get above where she is currently instead of being comfortable, she totally noticed a difference. Zay and Jasmine. Jasmine invited her mom and brother over. Her mother definitely thinks Jasmine and Zay need counseling. She also points out that Jasmine is a controlling person, not just in her relationship with Zay, but even in the family. And I can relate to that. I am very controlling over everything I can possibly control. And it's stressful, and it's like running a treadmill at the highest speed. You're going nowhere fast. Spinning your wheels just to end up maybe steps from where you started, if that. So Jasmine, if you're anything like me, you'll have to ease up the control. You'll carry a lot of tension and anxiousness in your spirit. Jasmine was also embarrassed by the promise ring proposal. I don't blame her. I know her mom says that Zay has to go his own pace. He has to take his steps. But seriously, he could have skipped this step. A promise ring for a whole 40-something-year-old woman is just childish. I don't care how you slice it. Unless both parties actually prioritize the promise ring as a stage in their relationship. Zay is going on a first date with Kenyatta. They're having decent conversation. We learned something interesting about Zay. He's been interested in becoming a pilot for about 10 years. Kenyatta jokes she's 30% Puerto Rican because she's always going to PR. But then Zay stupidly states that he was white in his past life because of the activities that he likes to enjoy that are super not reserved for whiteness at all. especially when he said he listened to country music. Since when was listening to country music a white thing to do? We literally created the genre. We skydive, we bungee jump, we know how to swim, quite frankly. We eat sushi, we do yoga. Nothing they named was exclusive or reserved for whiteness. So it just showed his ignorance. Now the couples are back with Dr. Stacey. Jasmine says her mom always thinks she's a problem, and Zay could do no wrong. And I was glad when Zay interjected saying that Jasmine is not the problem, that it actually is on him. And I was thinking, good job, Zay. Zay is going to go on another date with Kenyatta, so I'm interested to see how that plays out because he was comfortable with her. Joya is sharing a recap of her first date and how she and the guy had so much in common. And Jaysha was just being silly and jokingly, and that offended Joya because she wants him to take it seriously and see there is a possibility of losing her. You know, and Joya is absolutely right to be frustrated because if Jaysha doesn't have a fire lit under his behind, he's going to continue to drag his feet. But honestly, Joya should let Jaysha do whatever he's going to do. She needs to focus on what she's going to do and just stand on that. But that's it, y'all. Thank you for making it to the end of the review. This was episodes 49 and no, I'm lying. Episodes 6 and 8. Episodes 6 and 8. Pardon me, I got shows mixed up. This is episode 6 and 8. Thank you for tuning in. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Any feedback is appreciated. I'm on track, y'all. I've caught up officially. As this episode ends, I am all caught up, and I look forward to seeing y'all in the next videos. Bye.